Hi everyone, I hope you had a good lecture recess break. I'm sure you probably had some work to do in that period of time as well to get through things. This week the paper's looking at monster exchange, and it's a research paper and it points out that students get involved with ICT at an earlier age in both ECE settings but also in the home as well, so that what we do should reflect that. And what they say and conclude is that teachers need practical examples of ICT learning activities that have been pedagogically verified through research. So that's why it's important that we include some of this research for you to study in the course, because more and more systems are requiring that you can back up why you're doing what you do with solid research evidence. This study looks at a really popular program called Monster Exchange. You may have seen it before or heard of it, but if not, you'll find that it's quite good. Now, in the study they talk about designing learning activities in ECE settings and for ECE settings, and they talk about this as being learning design, which I thought was really interesting because when you think about it, we are looking at two subjects, the design subject and the digital technology subject, but the principles of design are now being incorporated into designing learning activities and designing ICT-based learning activities. So it's interesting that the paper mentioned that. They also talk about another thing from the design curriculum, and that is, in design thinking, one of the most important things is to consider the system that the user operates in. So in an education setting, the user of course being the children in the ECE settings, and the whole system includes the administration, parents, all sorts of things, and how that works. So considering that's very important. They mention that when they talk about the importance of considering administration and the implementation factors when you do these sort of things. And they point out that there's many interesting learning activities on the internet, but not that many specifically designed for ECE students. So some things can be designed for ECE settings that are generally not designed for ECE settings and students. They can be adapted in various ways. Other ones are designed so that they are developmentally appropriate, such as Monster Exchange, because in many cases Monster Exchange is developmentally appropriate for ECE students and often used for ECE students, but it can also be used for older students, but very successfully for younger students as well. So in this case the activity does fit very well. So what I'd like you to do now, without talking too much about it and going over the conclusions, is just to read through the paper, explore the website and find out what it's all about.